Recorded from an undisclosed location in the ATL, Eli Speaks presents Rantin Sports, a sports podcast with a ranting twist with a keen focus on the NFL,
intercepted at the goal line by Malcolm Butler,
college football,
touchdown, Georgia SEC champions,
and pro wrestling. It's down to earth, raw, and straight to the point. No BS. Now here he is now.
Welcome to another edition of Rantin Sports. You guys know what to do. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, whatever the case may be. And please support my channel. Man, I got a rant for you I'm going to be talking about today. And that's going to be about the Dallas Cowboys. Should we be screaming, "We them boys"? Or how about them boys? Especially what Jerry Jones did to this organization. Another one bites the dust. The Dallas Cowboys had parted ways from Mike McCarthy as a head coach. And although I'm not a Cowboys fan, I kind of really feel for the fans and Mike McCarthy. Coaching is not the issue. The players are definitely not the issue. The scheme is definitely not the issue too, though both sides of the ball can prove a lot better. But the biggest problem with the Dallas Cowboys pretty much lies at the top. And that's Jerry Jones, who've owned this franchise since 1989. Literally almost 36 years ago, as his mindset are still stuck in the past of things. What Jerry Jones don't realize is that the NFL is an ever-evolving business and he needs to adapt. Of course, he had moments back then when he made great moves at being a quote-unquote general manager. But he's an owner. Him trying to be GM in today's NFL will make things harder and complicated. Jerry Jones completely broke this team and made the Cowboys all for himself, and that's it. He technically doesn't care about his coaching staff or the players that play for his team. All he cares about is filling butts in his seats at the AT&T Stadium and making sure his team is shown on late game slots and in prime time, as he can gravitate more viewers as he wants to quickly advertise the Cowboys as America's team. When in fact they pretty much lost that title a couple of years ago. If not, maybe a couple of decades ago. Jerry Jones overpaid a quarterback who's literally been injury prone, as the rest of the team may not get paid, as some of the star players will be looking to the test free agency market at that. Outside of Prescott, star players such as CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, and Deron Bland could be heading to that direction, and rightfully so, as these three players literally put this team on their backs in every single game they play for the Cowboys, with or without Prescott. And with Jerry Jones and Prescott's agent giving Dak that contract, that gigantic $240 million contract that he technically doesn't deserve, that was the dagger on the rest of the players' future with the Cowboys franchise. To make long story short, I'll just say this. Jerry Jones, I believe that you should let your children, especially Stephen Jones, run this franchise, because the way you're doing things in Arlington are outdated and no longer working. You kicked another head coach to the curb for absolutely what reason? It wasn't McCarthy's fault that the season went the way it did. Half of the roster was playing injured all season long, and you still think it's a coaching problem. The problem is you. It's always been you. You haven't took this Cowboys franchise to an NFC Championship game or sniffed another Super Bowl in 30 years because you're still stuck in the mindset in the era when Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, and Deion Sanders were running the show. And those days were long over a long time ago. Jerry, I suggest do yourself a favor and give the keys to your children. They can't be any worse than what you did to this franchise. Jerry Jones is the biggest reason why the Cowboys hasn't accomplished anything in 30 years, and the players in your franchise, along with your big fan base, are growing impatient with the results. This is for the main show, and when I come back, I'm going to give you some keynotes and takeaways, and I'm also going to give you some other related news regarding the NFL and professional wrestling. We'll be right back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And let me tell you, Jerry Jones will be forever the reason why the Dallas Cowboys hasn't been anywhere in 30 years. Considering the fact that the Dallas Cowboys is considered one of the most high-profile teams in the NFL to date, you still have an owner that's still stuck in the mindset in the 80s and 90s. The Cowboys, even to this day, is still advertised as America's team. But they're not playing like America's team. Especially this past season. But Jerry Jones still thinks it's the coach's fault. They're looking for another head coach in 5 years because they kicked Mike McCarthy to the curb real quick, when in fact that he really wasn't the problem. This man had 3 12-5 seasons under his belt with the Dallas Cowboys, and you kick him to the curb? Jerry Jones, you're going to regret that decision. Jerry Jones is basically Arthur Blank 2.0. The difference is between Jones and Blank is that Arthur Blank, he likes to keep it within his family and hire his buddies to save the organization and to appease his team because of the familiarity of these people. With Jerry Jones, you're pretty much a one and done if you don't meet his expectations. Jerry Jones should retire and let his son run this organization. You know it's bad enough when your son Stephen come out and say that the biggest reason why the team is failing at becoming a great team is because of you. I know Stephen didn't say this personally, but you can tell that Stephen really wants to run this team and take this team to new heights. But he can't. On an unrelated note, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but down from Dallas, is the Houston Texans now the best team in Texas? It damn sure seems like it. We got a good head coach, D'Amico Ryans. We got a great quarterback in C.J. Stroud. We have weapons like Tank Dell, Nico Collins, and Stephon Diggs. When he ever come back, he's going to be healthy. And then you have Joe Mixon. And then you have a great defense with Caden Blalick, Kamari Lassiter, Derek Stingley, Will Anderson, and Danielle Hunter all in that backfield giving you hell. Other related news, let's shift gears in professional wrestling. NXT wrestler Jaida Parker is getting heat from the LGBTQ community over the latest sports ban law. That's going to be another episode I'm going to be talking about in the future, so stay tuned for that. This is my edition of Rantin Sports. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the Dallas Cowboys organization with Jerry Jones. And do you really think his son should run the organization? Let me know what you think. And I'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for listening to this edition of Rantin Sports.